It's mysterious, it's deadly, and it's baffling medical science. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Once thought to affect only promiscuous homosexual males, AIDS is now spreading in epidemic proportions to other segments of the population.
The stigma against AIDS and HIV. Throughout history, AIDS has had a negative image with multiple forms of press. It was often labeled the gay cancer during unacceptable times of the LGBTQ+ community.
Mystery disease known as the gay plague has become an epidemic unprecedented in the history of American medicine.
And in New Jersey, officials say that they will allow school superintendents to suspend students, teachers, or other staff who are suffering from AIDS,
leaving many open to oppression by family, friends, and even during medical attention. Many feared being outed or forced to come out by even having an illness that resembled close to AIDS or HIV. This led to them often trying to hide the sickness and disease from others. It wouldn't be until September 1985, 4 years after the crisis began, that then President Ronald Reagan first publicly mentioned AIDS. Of course, this was already 4 years too late, as it had already become a full-blown epidemic. The average consensus for this disease would be that it was a threat to all American families by the homosexuals. And still, 40 years later, there are continuing misconceptions about who and how HIV/AIDS is spread. It's no secret that back in the 80s, there wasn't much medical attention or help for those suffering. In 1984, Health and Human Services Secretary Margaret Heckler announced the discovery of the virus that caused AIDS, the development of an AIDS test, and forecast that a vaccine would be available by 1986, but no vaccine ever came. In 1987, Zolvidine, or AZT, became the first drug approved to treat AIDS, but the drug only seemed to slow down the progression of the disease. It did not cure or even prevent death.
Patients were described to take an AZT pill every 4 hours, night and day, forever. Today we know this amount of AZT is a toxic overdose. AZT had a sky-high price of $10,000 per year.
By 1995, AIDS was the single greatest killer of men ages 25 to 44 in America, and a million more around the world were infected. In 2003, 22 years after AIDS first hit America, President George W. Bush enacted the President Emergency Plan for AIDS Reliefs, or PEPFAR, which buys and distributes life-saving HIV medications to poor people around the world.
And the cost of those drugs has dropped from $12,000 a year to under $300 a year.
It is the largest ever government program devoted to fighting a single disease. 14 million are on treatment today because of it.
Another form of medication is known as PrEP. It's a daily pill that can help prevent HIV. If you do not have HIV, taking PrEP every day can lower your chances of getting HIV from having sex by more than 90%. The Los Angeles-based AIDS Healthcare Foundation, AHF, is a global nonprofit organization that helps provide medicine to over 1 million people in 43 countries.
They are currently the largest provider of HIV/AIDS medical care in the U.S.
They provide testing at many of their locations, can get you started on PrEP or other medications, and protest for lowering drug prices, equal rights to healthcare, and more.
It's important that we educate people and ourselves on HIV/AIDS to prevent the ongoing stigma. Should you need help, know that there are many resources out there. You are not alone.